All right. So, let's just really quickly just go through just a couple of things. Usually, I'll just be a little bit vulnerable. At night, before I go to bed, sometimes I go into the bathroom and I turn on some music. Sometimes it's worship music, sometimes it's 80s music, and I just sit in the bathroom. So I'm not necessarily doing anything, I'm just kind of sitting there. And when I do that, it's like the Lord just kind of downloads, my brain just kind of goes, and I reflect on a lot of things. And a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in there listening to, I think, some 80s songers or whatever. I don't really remember what it was, but this memory came back to me of when I was in high school. And last week I told a story about playing against this team, and they had like this top receiver, but the team that I was on, my high school, we had like the guy that was probably the number one receiver in Northern California. And this is a guy that I like admired. So he was a senior, I was a sophomore. I just like looked up to him like crazy. So I wanted to be like him. He had like 3.5 and above grades. And so I then did that. So it was a good positive thing. And it was I wanted to be like him so bad. I would even start walking like him. It was just the weirdest thing. And one of the things that he said was, I think he was being interviewed by the paper, and they asked him why he's such a good receiver. And one of the comments that he made was, as a receiver, if you can't catch, what good are you? And that just kind of stuck with me. And so I just want to take a little moment to talk about receiving. And we are all receivers, spiritually speaking, in a way. And so God is throwing balls at us, and we have to be able to catch them, receive them, and hold on to them. And so Mark 11:24 says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." And one of the drills that you go through as a receiver is the coach will be standing in front of you, run towards him, and he'll throw the ball. So sometimes the ball's right here. That's an easy catch. Sometimes it's down here, so you got to adjust for it. And sometimes it's up high, and you got to stretch. And sometimes you got to jump. And that's similar to kind of the blessings and the things that God throws at us. Sometimes they're easy ones that come right at you, and that would be like, I'm running late for an appointment or whatever, and I'm praying that I hit all the lights, and I get a parking spot when I get there. Those are the easy ones. So when that happens, you're like, great. And then there are the ones that I really need this job, or the funds are going to come out. So that kind of stretches us. So now I got to adjust my hand so I can get down and catch it. And then there are those where you're believing for your child to be saved, or a supernatural healing, that's going to stretch you, so you got to go up high and catch it. And it's not just the fact of catching it. They say you got to catch and tuck it. Because if you just catch it, there's a defender out there that wants to rip it away from you. And that's what the enemy is. So he sees you catch it, but then he's right there trying to rip it away. So you got to catch and tuck. So they call it catch and tuck. And so when I tuck, I'm running for the goal line to score the touchdown. And no matter how much they try to whack at it, you have it. And so when I got into college, as one of the drills as a defensive back, they teach you, if the receiver even catches it and he's running, you're chasing him, don't just tackle him, but swipe at the ball, his hand that the ball is in, or punch it out. And so as I got it, my blessing, I got to hold on to it and keep what they call 4 points of pressure. So it's here, and you got it right here up against you. So no matter if they hit it, they punch at it, you still have it. That's right. And so we can get our blessing in here, and then we go out and we aren't 4 points of pressure. We're swinging that ball around like this. And that's like, I go out, I got prayed for, I go out, and it's like, well, maybe that thing will happen. We speak what God has given us away. And so we have to be careful on that. So what does it look like? So what does receiving look like? It looks like I ask, I believe, and I act like it has happened. And that's what receiving is. And as I said, it's just not good enough just to catch. I got to catch and tuck it. And 3 reasons why we don't receive is that, one, just the opposite. We don't ask, we don't believe, and we don't act like it already happened. So instead of catching and tucking it, you play loose, and the enemy comes and knocks the ball from your possession. And what does the Bible say? The first thing that he says about the enemy comes to steal. And so when he knocks it out, it's a fumble, and everyone's trying to grab on it, but he gets it more times than not because of our unbelief.
So good.
So this last verse, John 16:24 says, "Until now you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask and you will receive, and your joy will be complete." So why is our joy made complete? Jesus tells his disciples that their joy will be made complete when they ask in his name and receive what they ask. So this verse emphasizes the importance of prayer and the relationship with Jesus. When we bring our requests to him and experience answers, it deepens our faith and connection, leading to a fuller sense of joy and fulfillment. It reflects the ideas that true joy comes from trusting in God and his provisions. So I close with this. If you are believing God for something, he's throwing it to you. So all you have to do is spiritually catch it. Amen.